I'm Zanal, and in this video we are going to talk about why I cannot stand twists as a protective style. You're experiencing massive breakage. One thing that all of these women share is a hairstyle, twist outs, and most women who join the Team Natural community believe that twists are just the perfect protective style, but I am here to let you know that there is nothing protective about twists. Twists are the fastest way to get matted and tangled hair, and in this video not only will I explain it, but I'll prove it to you. I am a licensed cosmetologist, research scientist, and a couple of other things, but one thing that I always do is stay in my lane, and when it comes to locking hair, it is literally a science. And I know so many different amazing locticians, and they all feel the same exact way that I feel about twists, because if you look at this video here on the screen, you can see that if a loctician wants to start twists, now there are a lot of different ways to start locks, right? But the majority of locticians start locks by first setting up their grids. They make their grids, and then they do 2-strand twists in different sizes, and then as the hair is in those 2-strand twists, the locking process begins. First thing they do, they lay the grids out, right? Based on the curvature of their client's hair, based on the texture and their scalp's profile and all of that, right? A loctician, a good one, knows how to lay a grid, all right? So they lay the grids, and then after they lay the grids, they put twists in the hair that look just like this. Now, when I was in cosmetology school, if their hair was like a thinner texture, like if it was less curly, or like let's say if your hair is a straighter texture, then they would tease it first and then do a different process. But when you have curly hair, especially what you guys visually call, y'all know I don't like the curl typing chart, but because I have to speak this planet's language, if you are like within the 4s, you twisting your hair is the fastest way to get it to lock. And let me explain how. Mind you, when you get a 2-strand twist, you are loading it with product, right? And even if you blow dry first, once you blow dry your hair, if you add gel or any creams that have water in them, you break the hydrogen bond. You might as well have not blown dry your hair. To be honest, you might as well have went like straight from wet hair to the twist if you're going to add like creams and oils and butters and stuff like most people do.
But you have to be intentional about being lazy about your hair. You can't leave kinky hair to sit in itself or twist it up when it's wet and expect anything to happen great about your hair, right? What's gonna happen if you say a 4C texture or 4B texture for that matter? What happens when you do a twist out on wet hair? Well, when that dries, all that water evaporates and all of that hair goes back to its dried out state, and then for a week, it's being left to sit in itself. And if the goal is not to have locks, then don't let your entire head lock up, because what's going to happen when it locks up after it's dried out and the water evaporates and you decide, days have gone by and you decide to take it out, that hair is going to break, right? So what I suggest, thank you, Lord, because there's facts to this. Every mature woman knows that she can't leave her natural hair sitting in itself.
Over time, right, the reason that twists are what you use to set the grids, right, is because what happens when you twist the hair, especially with curly hair, as you sleep, whether you have a bonnet on or not, that your hair is going to interlock within each other, like it's already in a twist, so it's going to interlock with each other, especially on the ends, because the ends are the freest, right? So the ends lock first, my baby. The ends lock first in twist. Now, normally if you are doing locks, right, for the maintenance with those locks in would be like the locking process, depending on the texture, could be anywhere between 3 to 6 months. Most women who do like Team Natural stuff, y'all will like let's be real and transparent. Not only will y'all have them in for about 3 months, you'll keep the twist in for about 3 months. Most women who wear their hair in 2-strand twists, it took you so long to put them in that you won't undo the twist to wash your hair. You'll wash your hair within those, listen, you'll wash your hair with those 2-strand twists in with your co-wash and conditioner, all of your 50 million products and stuff, right? And then you will, some people just go ahead, let it air dry and call that a day after they wash it. But then other people, you'll be like, oh no, well I undo mine, but you're not using a comb, right? So when you undo each twist at a time and you use finger detangling, my baby, it is the same thing. It's the same type of concept as doing maintenance, like with a palm roll, right? A palm roll is something that you would do with the twist, like when you're just leaving the twist in so they can lock. You just don't undo the twist, but on a daily basis you're a palm roller. Well, guess what? You're doing a version of that when you take down a twist and then use your fingers, and you're just running your fingers through a twist and putting a bunch of product on it and then twisting it back up. You are literally locking your hair. And I need you to remember, the average person has 100,000 follicles, 100,000 follicles on their head, and every follicle has at least 1 to 4 strands coming up out of the pore, right? I'm sorry, every pore on your scalp has at least 1 to 4 strands coming out of it. So your hair is going to be really, really thick, right? The majority of people have anywhere between 100,000 to 400,000 strands of hair. So if you have your hair in these little twists, one twist is probably like 500 different strands of hair, and then you use 4 fingers and your little thumb to detangle this one twist that is about 500 strands. You use 5 fingers to detangle it with. You really didn't. You just did a little bit of maintenance on it, the same way that palm rolling would give you the reaction. That's what you did, right? So then after that, you did your co-washing, and then you put your products in, and you put your oils and your butters back in. We already talked about in this series here what you use in oils and butters and greases and anything other than shampoo on the scalp. Watch this playlist here as I begin to break down. It's like monsters inside of me for your scalp. So then in reality, what ends up happening is you actually, what you think you're doing as maintenance with all of these products, as you are with all of these products that you're putting on your hair, you think that it's helping, but really, baby, all you're doing is breaking the hydrogen bond and helping your hair to matte. Because what it is, you know how you'll use all of those products on your hair and your hair feels so good, and then out of nowhere your hair is just dry. The thing that was making your hair feel so good and so much easier to manipulate is because you broke the hydrogen bond, which paralyzed your hair, and your hair was full of water, the water that was in those products. But when that water evaporates and your hair dries all the way, then your hair is interlocked, it swells, and then all of the different hair starts to link onto each other, and that is when the matting process starts, right? But again, everybody has adopted 2-strand twists as a protective style. 2-strand twists are not a protective style unless they are done with hair extension, but they start the permanent locks with 2-strand twists. But then if they don't want them to be permanent, they add extension hair, and the extension hair, it makes the lock, it makes it a little easier when you put them in a certain way. It makes it harder for your hair to mat up, right? Because if a braider who knows what they are doing, right, the certain techniques that you use when you're putting twists in with additional hair, the ends are not just left razzled, right, and just catching everything, and matting is not happening because the hair isn't able to wrap around itself, because the hair is wrapped around the braiding extensions, is wrapped around the braiding hair. So it's not until you keep these twists in for too long where the braiding hair is no longer able to withstand, or no longer able to withstand the weight. Like normally when you have extensions and you wash it, it becomes like the hair hair extensions become weaker and weaker. But if you want to wear twists, you need to get a braider or learn how to add the twist to your hair with braiding hair. And even in this video, he said that it like, even those, they don't leave them in longer than 3 months, and this is in Africa. So even in Africa, they saying your 2-strand twist, your box braids shouldn't be left in no longer than 3 months, or it's going to mat. And it's the same thing across the board. Women are like, oh my god, like I have all of these, I'm not gonna lie, I wore my hair in these 2-strand twists or whatever, and I thought everything was good, but then when I took my twist down, my ends were horrible, and oh my god, my ends look just like this. My ends look just like the pictures in these videos. And the thing is, because the social media, because the whole Team Natural community has become so great at rage baiting anybody, anytime anybody gives you anything that sounds like knowledge, you take it as, no, she's trying to say don't love yourself. No, I am saying love yourself and be as natural as you possibly can if you really want to be natural. But you adding 50 million products to your hair is not being natural. And giving 2-strand twists are not a protective style. 2-strand twists are something, is a hairstyle that enforces matting. It encourages matting. So it's not saying it, oh, in a negative way. I think locks are so beautiful, and I think that the majority of women who want to be like, oh, I want something easy and simplistic, and you just want to argue people down about 2-strand twists, why don't you just go lock your hair? Because if you go ahead and lock your hair and then you follow those steps, then yeah, you can just use palm rollers and you can really focus on retaining length and nothing else, if that's what you want to do. But you can't live in both worlds at one time. You have to pick one. You can't be, oh, this is a twist style, it's a protective style, but then we turn around over here and you go to see a loctician, and a loctician is like, oh, this is how I mat your hair. Which one is it? It can't be a protective style and a style that we go to enforce matting on purpose. Like all locks is matted hair, but it is controlled matting to retain length. And if it's done the right way by the right loctician, baby, it's some cold locticians out there. If it's done the right way by the right loctician, you can comb them out. Will your hair be in optimum health when you do? No, you're definitely gonna need to trim and stuff like that. But if you are a person who is doing 2-strand twists because you're like, oh my god, this is a protective style, 2-strand twists are not a protective style. So when I make videos here on my YouTube saying I hate wash and goes and twist outs, this is why. I'm not saying nothing bad about it, like, but if I have to sit down and put on makeup for every video, like, videos won't get made because I hate putting on makeup so much. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, I will get angry and just decide I'm not filming if I have to put on makeup to film a video. So this is how y'all gonna be getting me naked faced. All I got on is some tinted lip gloss. You do these 2-strand twists, and then when you get done, you got to make sure you have this product here and this product here and this product here. Oh, and then if your hair is still breaking, that just means you got to put this on your hair, and you got to put this on your ends, and you got to put that. No, you really don't. There are so many different hairstyles that you guys can do. Wash and goes and twist outs are lazy hairstyles. And I know, like I said, if you sensitive, please don't watch this video, but like, there are so many different things that have been made up. I'm not a part of the gender wars or nothing like that. I am very happily married, thank you very much, but I'm just pointing things out, and you can make that whatever you wanted to make it to. The person who started the whole like, oh, wash and go thing, he said that it's not for 4B or 4C hair. He said it's not for y'all hair because all it's gonna do is make y'all hair lock and dread up.
There's facts to this. Every mature woman knows that she can't leave her natural hair sitting in itself. She has to do something to prep it to be able to put it away in her regal bun, or a soft put away something, or a plait or a pretty braid or something. She knows that she can't leave her hair sitting in itself, because it'll just lock up, it'll be more manageable, and it won't look good. And a woman of her age needs to look good. And she's not trying to look tore up. Just because you want to be on the natural hair gang does not mean you should be walking around with your hair tore up and thinking that, why is it the same length that it was 5 years ago? It's important to know that heat does not damage hair, people damage hair.
Mind you, and I understand, it's super confusing, y'all getting all of these mixed signals, because when you're making things up, it's always gonna be all discombobulated, because he says this in one breath, but then you go on his website and you see, or you go on the YouTube channel and you see women with 4B, 4C hair. So you guys think, oh, this is how we're supposed to wear our hair. We're supposed to just have our hair in a way where you could just put products on it and go. And the reality of it is, nobody does that. There's no race of woman on the planet who just puts products in her hair and then walks outside and expects to have healthy hair all the time. Even women who look like they're doing it all the time, like with the scrunching and diffusing, even when I worked in hair salons with predominant all of the studio salons, solo salons that I worked at, I was like one of the only black girls there. It was only one place that I worked at where the majority of the people were mixed race, and all of them would be, I would hear them like, girlfriend, we're not doing that wash and go stuff. No, you're gonna break your hair, you're gonna get hydro fatigue. They tell their people the same thing. But we let these two men or other men, and I'm not saying like, oh, men shouldn't be able to do hair. That's not what I'm saying, because I know some cold ass dudes that do hair, but it's just what it is. These are the people who made up the whole team natural thing, and it was never for our texture. It was never for black women who have hair this texture to wear their hair in 2-strand twists, for you to just put random chemicals in your hair and walk. No, but they brought you, YouTubers came in there and they just heard 4B, 4C, 4D, and then they want to make it sound like this was something made for black women, and it's not.
The perfect way to tame your mane. And we're talking with celebrity hairstylist and creator of the Gold System, Andre Walker.
When I was a kid, I always was intrigued by hair, and I always played with it, so I started doing my mother's hair and her wigs. When I was in grade school, and by the time I was in high school, I was like doing her wigs for church on Sunday.
Wow.
So that's how it really started.
And people say that doing wigs is difficult, so if you can do wigs, then you can do anyone's hair.
Yes.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Well,
Yeah.
I see you have your natural hair. You came with your curls. That's what we're talking about. There's so many different hair types. There's so many different kinds of women from different walks of life. And you have created a system where you can kind of classify it, identify what's yours, and know how to manage it.
Right, and I created the hair typing system so it'd be easy to identify your hair type, because before we used to talk about hair as a culture or as a race, and we know that within those cultures and races,
That's
they're all
true.
different textures of hair. So I wanted to break it down into 4 categories so people can easily relate to it and know what products to use. And that's what I designed the Gold System based around also for the different hair types.
I know that we're both wondering, what are those 4 types?
Type 1 is for straight hair, and within that group there are different degrees of straightness, coarse and medium and fine. Then number 2 is wavy hair, which is, you know, a slight wave to maybe a little bit of curl.
Well, that might be some of you, Danielle.
And
Yeah, maybe. I think I'm a C wave, I think.
Really?
but you blow your hair out too, so it's hard to see right now. And then there's type 3, which is what I am. And Felicia, I think you're type 3 because you blow your hair out straight
I don't know.
also.
I might be type 2, 3, 4, and 5. You might have to add on a whole nother type on there.
And you know, that's not unusual.
I feel like I have all of it.
People have a lot of different hair types on their head. So
Okay.
you could have 2 or 3 different types.
And it's one more type, right?
So we're in 3, and then there's type 4, which is kinky texture,
Okay.
which is a very tight, coily, kinky, highly textured hair.
Yeah, I think my natural curls are a little bit looser than yours, so I think I got the curly, the wave, and the kink.
So I think you're probably a type
3.5.
Every time other races have a product and they people don't want to fuck with it, they be like, oh, it's made for black women, and then y'all hop on the bandwagon and buy it. The curl typing chart was made to sell products to other women that were not black. When you look at the original curl typing chart, it goes all the way, like, we are 4 is the last number. They start at 1, maybe 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's something that I want y'all to understand. Is 1 ABC, is 2 ABC, 3 ABC, 4 ABC. That's how it go. And then black women were the only women who bought into it. But the curl typing chart goes all the way like to Asian women. But black women are the only women who bought into the shit and haven't let it go for decades. The only ones. Every other race was like, that's some bullshit, it don't match the science, and it's like, no, I'm okay. Then the Revere blow dryer, he is a black person did not create the Revere blow dryer, and they did not make it with black people in mind. It was a white man and his wife. His wife used to use a freaking blow dryer, the blow dryer hose, to dry their kids' hair. What? And so he was like, oh, that's cool. We should make something. We should make a product and sell it. Something that looks like the blow dryer, the vacuum cleaner. We should make one. And then they brought it to the market, and they people was like, this is stupid. We don't want this shit. They people was like, no, thank you. Never mind. And then one day, some black girl saw it and was like, oh, this is cool. And they was like, hey, we'll break you off a little something. Why don't we come up with something together? Because non-black women ain't the team natural thing ending anyway. And everybody started talking about blow dryer, but what if we tell them this? What if we tell them,
okay, the old way the blow dryer worked, yeah, I know that was bad, but now we using blow dryers again because we got something new made just for black women.
and y'all ate it up. Going out there spending $400, $500, $600 on this damn blow dryer when the people who they made it for didn't even want it. The people that they made the blow dryer for didn't want it. They came and put it in black women's face, and y'all ate it up. So we have to get to a place where we're able to hear each other and have accountability, right? Because the thing is, the person who's talking the sweetest to you is most likely the person who's full of the most bullshit. Because for the last 12 years, y'all have had men creating the team natural, the curl typing chart. Y'all have had men creating wash and go stuff and all of this, and then everybody's just kind of been piggybacking off of it, and just everybody's been going in a circle. And now the same people who started it are doubling back saying, I didn't mean for it, wasn't even for y'all. It ain't for you. Y'all supposed to be doing what y'all mamas and grandmas been doing. Y'all ain't supposed to do this shit. This ain't for us.
Say, Mother, so what do you do with your hair? Oh, I don't do anything. Every 3 weeks, I wash it and condition it, and I blow it out, and I soft press it, and I put it in a bun. That's what I've been doing for the last 20 years. And she has hair down here. And it's thick, kinky hair. And so I said, thank you, Lord. Because there's facts to this.
This is for women with looser patterns. If you mixed, if you got a mixed texture, if it's like a softer texture, yeah, you can do that. But if you a black woman, you shouldn't do that. Like, now they reverting back and y'all can't even see it. So all of these years, cosmetologists like me have been the bad guy. We've been the one that be against them, be against them. Now, the people who got y'all over here are now reversing all of their words. So now, when y'all go online and y'all see all the angry videos like, she is lying, she's a liar. Now, you know who the hit dogs are, because hit dogs are going to holler. All of the people who like, this is a lie, misinformation, those are all of the people who now gotta hang up their team natural putty and curl cream and all of that, because there was never any science backing it. It's all been about product pushing the whole time since day one. 3A, 3C, 3B, 3W, XYZ has never been about helping black women know their hair. Like, and that is the thing that is annoying for me, right? That's the thing that is annoying, where my passion comes from, because I get black women attacking me. The curl typing chart was created so black women could identify their hair. The curl typing chart was not created for black women. The curl typing chart, black women are the end of the curl typing chart. So how was it created for black women when the curl typing chart starts at 1, not 4? Black women are the 4s on the curl typing chart, but the curl typing chart starts at 1. So if the curl typing chart was created for black women to identify their hair, can you please explain to me why black women are the last number of identification on that chart? Nobody ever asked themselves why they just went from 1 to 4. Nobody ever asked why the curl typing chart for black women starts at 4. And the curl typing chart don't start at 4, it ends at 4. And the only people who bought into it, that's why, like, he passed now, but before that, that's one of the reasons why his product line closed, because black women weren't buying it at the prices that his was set at. And the women that he actually made the product line for was like, this is dumb, I'm okay. And then other brands start saying, ooh, but I can make something off of that. And then they all start making money and like piggybacking off of stuff like that. And now today in 2024, if another black woman says, oh, the curl typing chart is some bullshit, or you need to stop doing twist outs because it's the reason that your hair is breaking off, or you need to stop doing wash and goes, like it's like I tackle twist outs, but I can't stand wash and goes because I don't care what nobody's talking about. It is pure laziness. No woman on the face of this earth just gets up, sprays products in her hair, and then walks outside. And the women that y'all like, oh, but this one does, guess what? In the middle of the day, her texture is one where she can still, even after she lets her hair air dry, she can still get a comb and comb it. Most black women say things like, I can't comb my hair because it'll break. Oh my God. Like, the natural community has made black women believe that they can't use combs, they can't use brushes. The only way that you can wear your hair, if you are a black woman who loves herself, is to wear it in its natural state, or to put it in twists, which are the way to lock your hair. Like, so yeah, I know this is a super unpopular opinion, and I know a lot of y'all probably ain't gonna like this video, but it is what it is. I really wanted to say it because I just feel like it's something that needs to be said, and nobody is saying it. Why is this something that nobody, well, I know why nobody talking about it, because anytime somebody say something, it's like, oh, they're mad. It's like, no, nobody's mad, nobody's upset. Is it annoying? Absolutely, but nobody's mad and upset. Y'all need to understand when y'all being made a fool of and when y'all being played. Ask any loctician the fastest way to create grids, well, not the fastest way, one of the main usages of twists are to create grids and to start locking your hair. So I know this video was long, I know it was a lot, but if you need healthier patterns, or if you just need help figuring out, like, how do I kill all of this team natural programming, and how do I learn the right way to do my hair to follow my natural skin cell turnover? How do I increase my sebum production? How do I increase or normalize my sebum production? How do I find my skin cell turnover cycle so I can learn when to properly exfoliate my scalp? Like, how do I learn any of these things? Nobody in my 7-day challenge has those questions. Once they start, they are able to answer all of those questions for themselves. They can point out their exact date for their skin cell turnover cycle. They know their sebum level. They know what to do to either increase it or to lower it. They know what styles to do and what not to do, and they know how to follow simplistic maintenance patterns. But let me tell you this, if you are a person who who cannot let go of Team Natural Hacks, if you are a person who wants to add Team Natural stuff with new stuff and with science, it's not gonna work like that. My 7-day challenge is only for people who are ready to break all of the old bottles so they can build brand new bottles for the new wine, because you cannot put new wine in dusty old little dusty Team Natural bottles, okay? So if you want to really get a hold, if you want to really get a hold of your natural hair growth cycle and all of these things, permanently destroying the Team Natural brainwash, then join my 7-day challenge. You don't have to take my word for it. Check the reviews that I've had popping up on the screen all throughout this video, and also make sure you check the link in the description box below so you can head over to my blog, so you can head over to my blog, where I also post a lot of testimonials and things of that nature. Also, make sure you're in a live video, because the gurus be up in there. That's what I call the people within the 7-day challenge. Because listen, I'm not trying to be your guru. I need you to be the guru and spread the word, because if this stupid Team Natural stuff can spread, we can spread the real science of the human body in real life and how to apply it to your everyday patterns and routines. All right, join the 7-day challenge. I love you. You could join through Sizzle, baby. It's only $25 if you join through Sizzle. Stop playing with yourself, girl. You spent $25. Listen, you spent $25 on Beyonce new shampoo. What you doing with yourself? Why are you playing with yourself? I mean, you could play with yourself, but don't play with yourself like that.